mind-bending experience in the best possible way. The setting of the Federal Bureau of Control, a constantly shifting building filled with strange paranormal happenings, is eerie and compelling. The gameplay, using telekinetic powers to manipulate the environment, is incredibly fun and satisfying. The cryptic story keeps you hooked as you piece together the puzzle of what's going on in this bizarre world. If you're ready for a visual and mental trip, Control is waiting for you. Metro Exodus is a journey that takes you across post-apocalyptic Russia. Unlike previous games in the series, this one lets you explore the surface, offering a mix of harsh beauty and unforgiving danger. The open levels allow for exploration, but you're never truly safe, keeping you on edge. The story focuses on Artyom's search for a new home, and the game does a great job of making you care about the people struggling to survive in this ruined world. Sifu is a martial arts game that nails the feel of classic kung fu movies. The combat is fluid and responsive, and the aging mechanic adds an incredible layer of strategy. You get stronger as you age, but you also become more fragile, making every death feel significant. The game pays homage to martial arts films, with one fight sequence that's straight out of Oldboy 2003. It's tough, but mastering the mechanics and taking down tough bosses is incredibly satisfying. Jagged Alliance 3 is a tactical strategy game that balances nostalgia with modern gameplay. You manage a squad of mercenaries, each with their own quirks, and the tactical combat is challenging in the best way. Every decision counts, and when your plan comes together, it's incredibly satisfying. The game offers tons of replayability, with different mercenaries to recruit and missions to tackle. Chivalry 2 is a chaotic medieval battlefield simulator that nails the thrill of combat. From the first sword swing, it's an absolute blast. The battles are massive, with players clashing swords, arrows flying, and chaos everywhere. The game embraces the madness, letting you pick up anything as a weapon, even your own severed arm. It's all about the hilarious, unexpected moments that arise during the heat of battle, making it pure, unfiltered fun. Lost in Random is like stepping into a Tim Burton movie, with its creepy yet whimsical art style. The game revolves around the concept of randomness, where fate is determined by the roll of a die. The combat system mixes real-time action with card-based mechanics, and every battle feels fresh and exciting. The story explores deep themes of fate, choice, and the nature of randomness itself, making it an experience that will stick with you.
Watch out!
Chernobylite stands out as a blend of survival horror and sci-fi. Set in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, the developers did an incredible job recreating the eerie, abandoned setting. What sets it apart is how it weaves survival elements into a deeply personal story, where you play as a scientist searching for your missing fiancé. The crafting system is robust, and the choices you make throughout the game have real consequences, adding layers of tension and dread. Kingdoms of Amalur. Reckoning is a fantasy RPG that might look ordinary on the surface, but it's full of depth. The world is vast and filled with lore, and the combat system is fluid and dynamic, allowing you to seamlessly mix weapons and abilities. The world is vibrant and colorful, offering a different vibe from the usual dark fantasy settings. This game is perfect for those who love to get lost in a world full of quests, characters, and experimentation. Next up is Robocop, Rogue City, which taps into pure nostalgia while delivering something fresh. It perfectly captures the gritty, dystopian vibe of the Robocop universe. The combat feels heavy and impactful, with each shot making you feel like an unstoppable force. The story ties in well with the original films, mixing dark humor and social commentary. If you're a fan of the original movies or looking for a game that doesn't hold back on action, this is a must-play. Evil West blends the gritty Wild West with over-the-top supernatural elements, creating a truly unique experience. You play as a cowboy hunting vampires, and the combat is fast, brutal, and satisfying. The mix of gunslinging and melee combat keeps things fresh. while the abilities you unlock make you feel like a one-man army. The world is a twisted version of the Wild West, filled with creepy creatures and dark environments, and the game doesn't hold back on the action, making it pure, unfiltered fun. Remnant, From the Ashes, is another surprise. At first glance, it looks like just another post-apocalyptic shooter, but then it hits you with Dark Souls-like difficulty, making it stand out. The combat is tight and unforgiving, with every encounter feeling like it could be your last. The world is procedurally generated, so you're constantly adapting to new challenges. The co-op gameplay is a blast, and taking down tough bosses feels like a major accomplishment. This game may not be the flashiest, but it delivers where it counts. Then there's It Takes Two, a game that's pure joy. It's a wild, creative roller coaster of co-op gameplay that constantly throws new ideas at you. Each level feels like a different game, blending puzzles, action sequences, and more. Playing with a friend or partner creates some of the best co-op moments as you rely on each other and communicate to solve challenges. The story is unexpectedly heartfelt, about a couple on the brink of divorce rediscovering what brought them together. It's both hilarious and emotionally touching, sneaking up on you with its charm.
Oh, I can do that!
The Plague Tale series is next on the list. This series is truly something special, like stepping into a medieval painting marred by darkness and despair. What immediately grabbed me was how it blends a raw human story with a suffocating setting. The use of swarms of rats, both a threat and a tool, is brilliantly executed, creating a constant layer of tension as you try to protect Amicia and Hugo. The emotional depth of the story, especially Amicia's relationship with her brother Hugo. The world is beautifully crafted, even when it's horrifying, with every village and battlefield dripping with atmosphere. The sequel takes everything great about the first game and elevates it, with bigger set pieces, more emotional depth, and even crazier rat mechanics. If you love narrative-driven games that leave a lasting impact, this series is a must-play. Chorus, a space combat game that came out of nowhere and completely surprised me. Space combat games can be hit or miss, but Chorus nails it with style. The fluid and responsive controls of the ship make it feel like you're dancing through the stars, and the drift mechanic adds a fast-paced, high-energy edge to the combat. The story, while not the most groundbreaking, carries a cool, almost mystical vibe, especially as you follow Nara, the protagonist, on her journey to outrun her dark past. The game's visuals are stunning, with beautiful nebulae, asteroid fields, and ancient ruins. Chorus is a game that doesn't try to be anything more than what it is, a solid, fun, and visually striking space combat game. It's a perfect escape into the cosmos. Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, an indie gem that makes you wonder why it wasn't marketed with a giant AAA price tag. The visuals in this game are breathtaking, almost like watching a Pixar movie come to life. The world is full of vibrant colors, rich environments, and characters that feel alive. It's one of those games where you'll find yourself standing still, just soaking in the scenery. The combat is surprisingly deep, blending action and strategy, especially with the ability to use the rot to manipulate the environment or weaken enemies. These little guys bring a touch of magic and warmth to the game, adding a charm that you often don't see in bigger AAA titles. The story, while simple, is heartfelt and makes you feel more connected to the characters and world. Unlike many big-budget games that get lost in ambition, Kena stays grounded, offering a polished, heartfelt experience that's more charming than a lot of blockbusters out there. Once you finish it, you'll want to dive back in, a true testament to its quality.